My name is Mila Hart. I'm 33, the oldest, the one who gets the first call when the Wi-Fi blinks, the one who quietly carries the weight no one notices. By day, I manage inventory at a home appliance warehouse. Barcodes, serial numbers, forklifts that seem almost alive, only starting if you whisper, please. By night, I fix cracked screens, because in this world, people apologize to glass more often than they apologize to each other. I live in a one-bedroom apartment above a barber shop that blasts the same playlist every morning at exactly 7:10 a.m., like the universe needs a soundtrack for its awakening. I keep my receipts in the shoebox, my finances in a spreadsheet on my phone called Keep Breathing. Tabs labeled rent, food, gas, and the undefeated one, surprise. My sister, Ava, 28, is everything I'm not, the queen of grand visions, her world revolving around Victor Russo. Indoor sunglasses, outdoor charm, a man who treats the world like a stage and everyone as audience. Mom adores him because he calls her Ma and brings flowers he never buys. Dad, he left a toolbox and a habit of ignoring calls. I kept the toolbox. The engagement party was at a banquet hall straight off Instagram Dreams. Chandeliers that look filtered, gold chairs, and a wall of roses that pretend everyone is flawless. I wore my only suit, brought a modest gift, and positioned myself near the speakers. Toasts began, glasses clinked, and laughter rose like it was performing for someone, anyone. I sipped water quietly, calculating how many shifts it would take for me to pay for a car repair when suddenly my chair gave way. I hit the floor hard. Elbows screamed. Polite laughter started, then full-bodied amusement, the kind people make when they're relieved it isn't them. Damian, microphone in hand, turned my fall into a punchline. "Your place is on the floor, sis." Ava laughed. Mom's disapproval was quiet but present, and I stared at the tile, forcing calm. Rage never pays. I reset the chair, sat properly, and pretended the floor never touched me. And then I felt it. A stare. At the head table, a man in a dark suit, posture like a ruler, eyes scanning me like he was trying to solve a puzzle. Victor Russo, Damian's father. Recognition crossed his face slowly. He stood, maneuvered around servers, and came directly toward me. "Miss Hart, is that you?" he said, low enough to be private, sharp enough to command attention. Damian laughed nervously, trying to control the narrative, but Victor didn't look at his son. He was inspecting me, as if I had walked out of a file. What the photos won't show, my phone buzzing 2 hours earlier, Red Oak Bank alerts, a joint line of credit attempted in my name online, flagged as fraud, my voice cutting through digital chaos to protect what was mine. Victor's email landed 10 minutes after I filed the affidavit. Calm, precise, professional. "Can we talk?" he asked. 2 minutes, he said. I nodded. In a married side room, he studied my elbow as if apologizing for Damian's hands. "Miss Hart, your affidavit. The branch attempt was blocked. Do you authorize any line of credit in your name?" "No." "Your sister or son?" "No." "Police?" "Not yet. I wanted a paper trail, not a spectacle." He nodded, firm but respectful, promising audit follow-ups, legal clarity, and support. We returned to the ballroom. The music played, people pretending again, but behind him, Victor stood firm, hand on Damian's shoulder, silent judgment palpable. "You and I need to talk. Not later, now," he said. Damian smiled at the crowd, but the tremor of truth moved through the room. Ava, eyes bright, insisted misunderstanding. Mom chimed in. We don't take family to the cleaners. I replied evenly, I'm not taking my name for anyone's shopping spree. An envelope slid across the table. My affidavit, fraud alerts, financial records, 4 years of receipts, proof of my labor and integrity. Victor tightened his grip on Damian's shoulder. Apologize for the chair, he said. Damian muttered a quiet sorry. Then the other thing. My phone buzzed. The Red Oak brands confirmed the block. I left my gift on the table, clarity in my chest, knowing I was not here to perform. Outside, the night air smelled like lemons and cold truth. My phone vibrated, 27 missed calls, messages from Mom, Ava, Damian. I set it to do not disturb. Across the street, a woman I vaguely knew was loaning centerpieces, glancing my way as if she held secret knowledge. I texted Jonah. Party's over. Call you when you land. Love you. The night held its breath, and I allowed myself to breathe too. I opened my laptop, started a family ledger, line by line, every dollar and gas receipt, every proof of survival. Paper remembers. Paper doesn't lie. By noon, Victor called. Audit complete, fraud attempt frozen, calm professionalism. He warned of emotional backlash. I'd lived in it. I was ready. Jonah arrived, airport dust on his shoulders. We exchanged words, small gestures, and the quiet comfort of shared understanding. We sat, eating takeout, pretending noodles could solve generational chaos. But even as peace settled, I felt the tension in the shadows. Some things, no matter how carefully logged, have a way of resurfacing.
3 days later, Mom arrived unannounced, casserole in hand, words of disapproval on her lips. I didn't open the door. Texted instead. Mom, please email next time. I'm working. She left a folded note anyway. My sister, struggling, needed help with a photographer deposit. I crumpled the invoice and ran it underwater. Proof over performance. Ava texted, panicked. You're hiding behind Victor. Ask yourself why he's helping. I responded simply. Some people help without taking first. Silence followed. Victor called again, cornering me in calm professionalism. Damian's fraudulent attempts were now documented, frozen, and legal. Ava's manipulations had consequences, though I remained focused on clarity, not revenge. Jonah came over. We assessed damage, recovered control. My ledger expanded. Every line item, every transaction, every family violation noted. I was learning to treat paper like armor, boundaries like instructions, not cruelty. Victor's legal notice eventually silenced the online chaos. Ava deleted her posts. Damian disappeared from social media. Mom's texts became sparse, quieted by the weight of truth. I stood in my apartment, reading my rules, whispering them like scripture. Don't send money you can't afford to lose. Family doesn't get your name. Don't explain math to people who prefer magic. No fights in kitchens. Locks aren't cruelty, they are clarity. Doubt is healthy. Paranoia is expensive. Let silence do the talking after truth arrives. Paper wins. Forgiveness doesn't reopen doors. Peace began in small acts. Watering plants, making coffee, keeping receipts, logging survival. Days passed quietly. Victor called again, confirming everything was permanently secure. No fraud, no liability, just facts on paper. Weeks later, Ava emailed, asking to meet. For the first time in years, 3 words softened the edges. If you'll let me. I agreed.
At 3 p.m., she arrived. No entourage, no makeup, just vulnerability and regret. She opened her folder. Invoices, Damian's debts, proofs she couldn't manage. She admitted mistakes. Tears rolled quietly. She slid an envelope across the table. $1,778,042. My share, she said softly. Everything I paid over the years, adjusted for inflation. I handed her a pen. Add a final rule, I whispered. She wrote slowly. Forgiveness doesn't reopen doors. It just leaves the hallway light on. Victor called later. Sun moving out, family tensions easing, peace quietly enforced. Jonah joined me with takeout. We ate in silence, letting boundaries and understanding fill the space. Weeks passed. Ava entered therapy. Mom sent bird photos instead of guilt-laden messages. Damian disappeared digitally. I thrived quietly, promoted at work, saving for a condo that belonged only to me. On the last night in my apartment, I whispered the 10 rules to myself. Added one final line. Boundaries aren't betrayals. They're instructions for love. I stepped outside. Lemon air, sunlight on pavement. And for the first time, I felt that peace was mine, unborrowed and real. Even now, I know survival isn't about winning. It's about choosing clarity over chaos. Subscribe for more stories like this.